Hi everyone, welcome to Max's Mad Mythic Mercenaries presented by Arbitrary Hero. I am your Dungeon Master Cameron. I'm here to run a game of Waterdeep Dragon Heist for my friends. We are starting off by going around the table. The question of the day is, what does your character think of the new character they met last time, Spev, played by our friend Danny? So, Nate, who are you playing and what was their first impression of Spev?
I am playing Rolan Jatoro, human fighter, and he doesn't know too much about him, but he is definitely wearing a very cool suit of armor and fired off some firearms that we saw earlier in another fight. So he's interested in what he's got going on, that whole situation.
Shuri, who are you playing and how's their interaction with Spev been so far?
I am playing Alu Drakar. She is an Asimar rogue, and she's still gathering information about Spev, but her first impression is he's mostly harmless. He's pretty small and unthreatening to her, and otherwise the jury's out.
I normally play Wilhelm Swingpike. Since I'm DMing, he's taking a bit of a backseat, but he did get to sit in the audience for Spev's grand entrance, and he is thoroughly impressed. Hannah, who are you playing, and what's her thoughts on Spev firing off a musket right next to her ear?
I am playing Holly Reed's Go Delicately, and I felt like that was very inconsiderate for him to fire off the musket right next to me. But at the same time, she thinks that I think that Spev is the cutest thing she has ever met in her life and wants to take him with her everywhere, put him in her little pocket. Thing? No.
No.
Like
no,
a little,
I think it's
like a Tamagotchi.
He's so cute.
It's like an infantilization thing, but I'm pretty sure Spev is older than Holly.
Yes.
Ian, who are you playing, and how's that been going with Spev?
I am playing Fen. He is a Wood Elf Ranger.
He is a Wood Elf target.
Correct. mostly a dyer, frankly. Okay, so he's not super enamored yet with Mr. Spev, mainly because he didn't come in and help us right away, the asshole. But also because Fen is a hillbilly rube from the sticks who is suspicious of technology, and he's also, much like MacGyver, suspicious of firearms. So
or like
he's a little
MacGruber.
standoffish.
Well, it also doesn't help that he got shot with a firearm last fight.
Correct. So anything that goes
history.
boom, Fen has a little bit of a.
Oh, so you're like a dog on the 4th of July. Got it.
Yeah, he's not loving that stuff. I mean, he's got PTSD, so. Yeah.
All right, and now we're going to turn it over to our new friend, well, not our new friend, your new friend, Danny, who plays Spev. So first, what does Spev think of himself, and then what's Spev's recap of the previous events?
Well, Spev currently knows that he is always the second smartest person in the room if Valletta is already in the room. Otherwise, he's number one. He's definitely more into tech and more into like gadgets than he is people, and he's definitely found his place working at the Temple of Gond, just sort of building inventions and having the support there. As for the party, they're all barbarians. Sorry, y'all seem very nice as people, but as of right now, you've broken one of our mechanical birds. Took a pot shot. I think you took a pot shot at our robot friend, as well as came in with questions and started a fight in our main hall.
Yeah,
and it has scared our acolytes many times. So
I just want to point this out, just as like table talk here. Most of that, what he just listed, was Fen.
Yeah.
Yes, all of that was fun.
Just about all.
So we are returning to the House of Inspired Hands where we left the last session. Fen and Rolan, with the help of Spev, Holly Rees, and Wilhelm, had fended off an incursion by some thugs. But while that was going on, Alu, you have been up in one of the upper rooms of the tower of the Temple of God and House of Inspired Hands, and you've been trying to talk with a little mechanical boy named Nim. How's that been going so far?
I mean, we don't know yet because
It's been
haven't
going
spent time there.
badly.
We
Yeah,
are
you-
waiting for his pretty slow sign language, and Valletta needs to interpret.
Yes. So while you've heard some clatter downstairs. You
Sprang from your bed to see what was the matter.
You see that Nim's signing to answer your question. Can you remind us what exactly you asked him?
So Alu basically asks him, briefly, very quickly explains that they're looking for someone very similar. Obviously isn't this particular, I've forgotten what you called him. Isn't
Nimblewrights. They are Nimblewrights.
Nimblewright is not this particular Nimblewright, but we tracked them to right in front of the temple and asks if Nim knows anything. Obviously, we also hear a commotion downstairs, so Alu is assuming, because that's what she would do, she would assume that whatever commotion's going on has something to do with this Nim and the related events that brought us here. And so what those related things might be, she doesn't know, but she knows shit's going down. Talk to me quickly. Do you know anything? What do you know?
Yes. So Alus, the question is like, have you seen another Nimblewright today?
Yes.
Valletta is still standing kind of behind Alu to just watch over the conversation. You see Nim
Valletta.
signing.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Valletta translates for Alu's sake. So Valletta says that Nim did see someone who he thought was another one of his kind earlier today. About when she says, Nim says that when we released him from the workshop after he had finished helping with some construction and some chores, he went up to fly his sparrow, and while he was on the roof, he noticed someone that moves like he does, but wore a big brimmed hat and red clothing that seemed to walk in a large circle around the temple and then headed off again to the west.
Okay.
What's west, Cameron?
Yeah, we can
Opposite of east.
we can zoom back real quick. I'm going to just
Similar in
move
direction
everyone
to
over
the
to
east.
this map of Waterdeep.
Yeah.
So this is the map of the city. Alu, like, they don't have the map in front of them, but Alu knows the city that well. She knows it pretty well. Even this part of the area where she hasn't necessarily been to. So the House of Inspired Hands is located over here on the seaward, and then west of the seaward, it's Seawatch Street. West would be implying that maybe he ducked into some alley to the west of the temple, and Nim lost track of him at that point underneath, below some awnings or some rooftops or something. They broke line of sight.
Okay. Alu probably would also want to know why he was afraid. That would be another thing she'd want to know.
She asks him why he's afraid of what?
Like when we come up and all of the things happen, I don't think until we hear the commotion below stairs that he was acting really afraid.
Oh, so he signs. Valletta says, you loosed an arrow at me.
Thank you. Good job.
Fen scares people.
I approve.
I'm curious, why would Nim be afraid of that though? Because he's a metal man.
Arrows still hurt.
Their construction can vary. You can see that Nim doesn't look the exact same as the other Nimblewright that you saw. Does it give me like? Okay, here we go. So you see what you see when you look at Nim closely now. He's mostly made out of some lightweight wood with metal pieces and burnishings. So he has the appearance of a metal man, but he's not like immune to axe strikes, sword strikes, that sort of thing.
Yeah, he's not a full metal man.
Yeah, give me an investigation check.
Here it is.
Oh yeah, okay. With looking at Nim, with that investigation, you're glancing him over. You think that a Nimblewright, like, it can repair itself easily, but it can still take damage the way a human body could.
All you have to do is knock one of its mechanical like gears out of place with a blow of some sort.
You also notice in Nim's chest, like he's wearing a tunic, but you notice that in his chest is some sort of maybe crystal or glass orb that you think might be a power source or something that if you needed to disable him, you could remove or damage it.
Got it.
It seems important. You're not exactly sure what it is, but it seems important.
Take it out and see what happens.
She wouldn't do that to a sentient creature without very good reason.
Was that Danny laughing at the "that's what she said" comment, or just the innuendo of that? I'm not sure. Take it out and see what happens.
He took it out.
Alu, do you have any other questions?
Seinfeld reference?
Yes.
I think her only other question would be if Nim has any idea how to find others of his kind. If there's any...
Nim responds to that. He says, if I do, will you try and hurt them like you try and hurt me?
Ollie would assure...
With that kind of, Valletta kind of steps up next to you, just not putting herself between the two of you, but she's clearly... She may not entirely trust...
us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ollie would probably be gentle and assuring and say, truly, Fen was not trying to hurt you. He's a bumpkin. He just thought that your bird was trying to attack him.
He's a big old dummy.
The omega of this crew.
Yeah.
Just getting crapped on.
We don't want to hurt anybody. We just... Our information and what we saw indicates that this Nimblewright specifically murdered and hurt many people today. We're just trying to get to the bottom of it.
So you haven't actually explained why you're looking for the Nimblewright to Nim yet. You told it to Valletta. Valletta, like, she also helps you. She's like, Nim, there was an explosion and a lot of people got hurt and people got injured and some people died in the North Ward, and this group thinks that it was another Nimblewright that did this and hurt a lot of people. If there's anything you could do to help, we'd all very much appreciate it. With that, Alu, you can make a persuasion check with advantage.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay. At that, Nim will stand up, and he's going to walk around, and he's going to shuffle into some boxes, and he's going to spend a little time looking for something to show you. While he's doing that, let's go back to the Grand Hall. How's it going down there, everyone?
Tense.
Yeah, just a little.
Just a little tense.
Fen is working on bandaging his fucking wounds because he got hurt again this time.
He's not dead.
Not dead this time.
Let's see.
And you weren't injured by friendly fire.
Rangers don't get second wind. That's only a
No, that's a fighter thing.
fighter thing. Let's see if does Wilhelm can't cast anything right now, I think. But he can he can do a Song of Rest, can he?
I think it has to be
asleep. You can sing me a
during a
lullaby.
long rest or a short rest, I think.
During a short rest. Bardic Inspiration, Magical Inspiration.
By the way, Roland was the only one who got inspiration last time, right? It was just for Roland.
I got
Bardic
Bardic
Inspiration.
Although I am
That's
putting on
different from
regular
regular.
DM inspiration. I do have
Yeah.
that too.
I will say that Danny, definitely with Spev's handling of the situation yesterday, Spev does have inspiration.
Oh, dope. Cool. Boop. Got it. Yeah, and how long? I know I got Bardic Inspiration because I got winked at. How long does that last for?
10 minutes.
10 minutes. Okay. Yeah, I think at this point, Spev will very quickly reload his musket because he can magically reload that thing, and kind of look at the all the people, especially the new people who just showed up since he was away, and just go. So what are you guys? What are you doing here, and why are you causing such a ruckus?
I think Roland will sling his glaive back on over his shoulder. And he said, "We're sorry about the interruption and all the commotion. We were part of. Have you heard about the explosion this morning over in the North Ward?"
Only the ones in the workshop.
Well, there was an explosion in the North Ward, and it kind of leveled a city street and hurt a lot of people, and it killed at least one that I'm aware of. Well, that wasn't a part of it.
How far away was this blast from the workshop?
Yeah, we can go back to our map.
Yeah, because I'm curious how I would have actually heard it or not.
Is that
So-
were we supposed to also? Sorry to interrupt. Were we also supposed to open? Like, wasn't our grand opening today?
Today is Elliot the 17th.
I think we
Your grand
did
opening
first.
is the 19th.
Okay.
So, yeah, we're
yeah,
2 days away.
2 days.
So, if we're looking at the map, Spev, you are located, if you see my ping,
Yeah.
that's the House of Inspired Hands, next to the
And
west
then where
wall.
my
Right by
token
the
is,
label.
that's where
Yep.
we are.
Trollskull Alley is right over here. It's a decent distance away. Now, it doesn't make sense to me, but we did get confirmation during the last party's foray that the explosion was heard at Blackstaff Tower. So if the Blackstaff saw the explosion and heard the explosion, then you'd probably have heard it also from the House of Inspired Hands. Now, maybe if you were indoors and you were working on your own things and making your own loud noises, maybe you didn't notice it that way.
Should I roll a perception to see if I did or not? Because
Yeah,
we were
let's
definitely
roll a
banging metal all
perception
morning.
check with disadvantage.
All right. Perception. It's just boom, boom. Did you guys see those?
Apparently, you definitely noticed.
Cool. Oh wait! You said disadvantage. The second one rolled within D&D Beyond, and it was a 3 plus 3.
Then no,
so
you didn't notice. Okay, so
really
you were
bad.
too busy on your work. You didn't really notice.
only heard the blast in the shop. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you again.
So, Spev, for your contact with the Order of the Gauntlet is in the Halls of Justice.
Okay.
All right, going back to the House of Inspired Hands. So, Spev, you were. This is new information to you. You were in the workshop. You were working on a new. You were working on a new invention to help quickly irrigate and plow fields in the farmlands that help feed Waterdeep.
Oh, damn right it was.
It uses this heavy mechanical spring that'll spin to help move the earth and then create a channel for water to move through and for you to lay seeds down. That's actually, if you remember last time we played, that spring is what the Acolyte was asked to hold in place.
He's still there. He's
They're
still
still
trying to
there,
hold tension on
and
that.
I am
All right, he's
rolling to see if they have failed holding that yet.
Of course.
Surprisingly, no. All right.
Oh, thank God. There's some tension there. If he gets whacked by that, he's out.
Yeah. It'll take his head off. Yep.
Oh,
So as Roland was explaining, there was an explosion this morning. It happened right outside our establishment, and one of my associates, the one upstairs, still talking to them, happened to see someone who moves in a similar way to your friend here. They have been tracking. Yeah, they've been tracking. They knew that it was some kind of synthetic man. They've been trying to track it, and they said they found it over here. It was going in a very strange pattern. Now, maybe he passed by here, but you happen to have something akin to this thing, and unfortunately, it seems that we are not the only ones looking for them. We came here to question and find out what was happening. It sounds like everything the other group that just left was here to lynch it.
Oh, so that's what they were here for. But no, our mechanical man has been here all day, and like I said, our blasts have all been localized into the workshop. So I don't know what you're talking about. Certainly, your answers aren't here. If you need to go search that out, but I'm afraid you've hit a dead end here.
That very well may be. Our friend is upstairs talking to what, Valletta and Nim?
Oh,
You said his name was?
Oh yes, Nim the Nimblewright.
Oh, excellent name. Maybe they've
Wish I could
figured
take
things
credit.
out. Can you call them down here so we can get this whole thing straightened out? And I will then like walk over to like the pillar here and lean my weapon against it and walk away from it. Like, I'm not interested in fighting.
Yeah, I'm just still gonna stare. I'm still holding my rifle, just kind of looking over you like, Miss, I don't think I cut your name, but would you be able to get our associates? You're the only one I know who is not part of this fight. As I say to Holly.
Holly Reese? Oh, of course I will. Oh my God. Alu.
She just yells.
Yeah.
Would we be able to hear you up at the top of the tower?
No, Holly Reese would need to walk up.
Okay.
Of course,
She
she's
walks.
gonna yell though.
Oh, sorry. One last thing. I'm going to look at Wilhelm and just say, like, could you please return all contents of the drawer back to the drawer? Thank you.
Wilhelm says, I drank some of those contents.
Drawer Nazi.
Oh,
What is it?
I'm not sure. That's
says
our loose odds and ends fluids desk. We got an extra one. We just put it in there unlabeled. We'll figure it out later.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing there's ever been. A loose fluid.
No, so what Wilhelm has in front of him, it seems to be some sort of like the fantasy equivalent of a tea kettle, like an electric tea kettle. And he's like, yeah, I'm not feeling well. I just need a little pick me up. Sorry about that. And he puts the tea kettle back. Spev, let's roll a perception check on your end.
Yeah, I'm curious if he puts that handgun back too.
Funny, you should mention that.
I rolled something. Let's get back over there. Oh, bad again. Cool.
You notice that he definitely put everything away. 100%.
Definitely 100. I saw. Okay, he
You
definitely.
saw the desk is now clear. It must be in the drawer. There's nowhere else it could have gone.
His hands went in there holding the item behind the desk, and they came back out not holding the desk item.
He did.
Yeah,
He did one of those like.
No, lie down.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed the hand gestures.
No, you're fine. Yeah. So yeah, he did a little flourish. You're fine. And he says, "Listen, if we're gonna be discussing for a little while, Wilhelm's gonna get up and he's like, I'm feeling much better. He walks over. Oh, he's gonna walk over and kind of support Fen. Say, you doing okay, man?
Fen says, I mean, I've been a lot worse. So yeah, I'm actually great. 12 HP. I'm like, this is
Yeah.
When
Wilhelm is gonna give you a little kiss on the cheek, and you
Aw.
get a bardic inspiration die.
Yay.
He says, "Hey, you handled yourself real well there.
Oh,
You
fuck,
guys
jeez.
were really
Bardic
outnumbered."
inspiration. Kiss on
So
the cheek.
then he's gonna sit back and he's gonna start just twiddling with his loot. What he's gonna do is, while we're shuffling through drawers and talking with Nim, this is gonna count as a short rest. So Fen, you can roll a hit die during this time, and when you roll a hit die, you can add your bardic inspiration die to it because of Wilhelm's class feature.
So is that a 20?
A hit die? No,
Yeah.
for your class, it's a D10.
D10. Okay.
If that's
then
the case,
add a
I'm gonna
D6
And then
to it.
what's my bardic inspiration die?
It is a D6. Wilhelm's giving you a D6.
Okay.
I wish I remembered to use that one on the perception.
Yeah.
Whoops.
if we're taking a short rest, then I'm gonna go ahead and burn my second wind as we're starting it.
Sure
And
thing.
then I'll get it back at the end of the rest.
How my D6?
All right, so that'll be
It's something, right? That's something.
Take it.
You're not at half health.
17 now.
all right. Oh yeah, I'm back to full health again. I only had like 3 to heal, but you know.
Yeah. Roll. So basically, Fen, somewhere on a cosmic scale, the universe is laughing at you because your roll would have fully healed Rolan, and his roll would have fully healed you, but they were switched.
Great.
Yeah. All right.
He's just now realizing that the universe is against him.
Yeah. So everyone,
One slow ass.
Fucking world's against us, dude. I swear to God.
everyone's starting to get settled in, and then Holly Reese, you reach the top of the stairs just as Nim pulls out what looks like a metallic. It's almost like a really fancy cigarette lighter. So it's got a handle. You could squeeze it, and something clicks. Is what it appears like. And there's a little umbrella on top.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, that's nifty.
That
Nim
is
pulls this
cool.
out. Holly, you're at the top of the stairs now. You see this too. He found this item by the time that you get to the top of the stairs. And he signs again to Valletta. And Valletta says, this is something that Nim has been working on for a little while now. He's felt lonely for a little while, and he's wanted to try and find others like him. This is supposed to be a Nimblewright detector, but he hasn't gotten it working yet.
That sounds like too much power. You also have a drow detector too.
Well, it wouldn't go off with you.
Oh yeah, in the back.
Yeah,
This
I
is
don't like it.
neat.
that is really cool.
Alu,
Well, do you think that he could potentially finish it?
Alu, we want to all go back downstairs and summarize
Things will be
whatever
gone.
you found?
Summarize our findings. Ali would look to Nim and ask if he was comfortable coming down and explaining everything to the whole group.
Nim asks you if that drow is still there.
He is.
Drow? He's
says
not a drow.
He's not a drow. He
What
is
if
still
he was?
there, but he is
Heavily sedated.
yeah.
What if he was a
sedated.
drow? Let's find out.
Both Alu and I have. She's saying this. So Holly Reese is saying this to Valletta, who is rapidly signing everything.
No,
Both
Nim,
Alu and I-
Nim can hear you. He just
Oh,
can't
he
speak.
can?
Yeah.
Oh, got it.
No vocal cords.
We've actually both killed him once before, so we
Each.
can kick his
He's
butt
not as
again.
dangerous as he looks.
He's really not very threatening.
Yeah, we can kick his butt again if he does
Yeah.
anything.
He's just super aggro.
Is that guy?
I got your back.
But
We don't know.
he's not really threatening.
Do you
I
think that Nim would feel comfortable coming downstairs with us
Yeah.
and potentially helping the
Yeah,
the group find this
You
Nimblewright?
can make. I think with your previous persuasion check, Nim's more comfortable now.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So yeah, you all can make your way down the stairs, and Valletta will kind of hang out on the other side of Nim.
Yeah, and Alu, I am guessing Holly Reeves would probably like link arms with him, or at least try to. And Alu would probably walk in front to help not protect him. She doesn't think he needs protecting, but like give him confidence that they are going to protect him.
Yep.
Make him feel safe.
Definitely doesn't need protection from Fen.
Gotcha.
Really needs protection from Fen.
Except Fen. Fen might need
Fen needs protection from Fen.
Fen needs protection from everyone, sounds like.
Yeah, it does.
As soon as they ran to the room, I immediately turned back to Valletta. Like at this point, I've opened my helmet, but I'm still full armor with my weapon drawn, keeping a very close eye on these three shady characters. And as soon as Valletta comes in, I'm like, "Oh man, I'm so sorry. There's a bit of a ruckus going on down here. There's a fight. There's a brawl. I kind of broke it up. I don't know what the accolades say were, and I shot my gun inside. I'm so sorry." I can fix the hole.
Looks at
Can you
Valletta.
repeat that verbatim for us, please?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally.
No,
The recap.
you're good.
Valletta turns to Alu and says, your friends attacked the temple?" Or she's asking. She's like, "Your friends attacked the temple?"
Alu would say, I don't know what happened, but they would not attack the temple.
Technically, no. Roland will speak up.
Someone discharge a crossbow in the temple.
Ignore my country bumpkin friends over here. No one attacked the temple. We had a little kerfuffle with some other, like this hot guy with the bandana and some old ass dwarves who are also looking for this nimble man. But now we know that it's not your nimble man, nimble person, Nimblewright. Thank you. But we're good. Spev actually was like the hero and broke it up.
Shucks. Valletta, I'm sure you would have handled it much better. I just did what I thought. I'm sorry I shot my gun inside.
You're chill. You did what you had to do. Just please don't shoot it up next to me anymore.
I apologize. Tempers were high, but man, what do you want to, Valletta? What do you want to do with everything that's going on? These folks have came in here, said there's an explosion on the other side of the city, and apparently a Nimblewright was responsible and saw it fleeing through here. Right. And there's other people that are apparently coming to check it out. So,
what did the ones who attacked the temple look like?
I side over towards the other guys.
A bunch of dark dwarves.
Hot guy with the red bandana.
So Fen and Rolan, you both were staring them down long enough, so you got a pretty good clock on them. Both of you give me perception checks.
I mean, I hunter's marked the hot guy with the red bandana, so
that's true. You had a pretty good focus on that guy.
Hot guy.
Each of you give me a perception check and then give me a history check.
Okay.
Just the two.
Perception check. Yep. Ooh, okay. That is an unnatural 20 for the perception check.
Yep.
And then a history check, you said? Let's
yes.
see. Not great. Okay.
All right. Perception.
It's still a 13 for history.
So both of you noticed that the gentleman who seemed to be in charge, he had on his shoulder a tattoo of a circle with 10 spokes.
I know who that is. Yeah.
And then, the other thing that you'd know, because you've dealt with these guys before. The last time you fought a Durgar, it was in the Xanathar Guild hideout.
Which would make sense.
These were Durgar, and you saw the sigil. You think that these were Xanathar Guild guys. And what you remember, Roland, you rolled over a 10 on your history. You remember that when he left, he was muttering something about the Sea Maidens Fair.
Yeah, okay. The Sea Maidens Fair. Wasn't that the bar that Alu's mentor is at?
No, the bar that Alu's mentor works at is the Mermaid's Arms.
That's what it was.
The Sea Maidens Fair, you would know this living in the city, is you've all heard people muttering about drow that have shown up in the dock ward. There were issues there.
Is that
The
what we
Sea
fought
Maidens Fair are a trio of ships that have docked in. They have human performers that do different. It's like a Cirque du Soleil, but on a boat that come visiting different towns. The thing that you will remember, Roland, since you rolled above a 10, is that you, during the adventure you guys had the second time you went to the Yawning Portal, when it was the night that Wilhelm's show was happening.
The drow lady.
Yeah, there was a drow lady with a coffin with a drow messenger in it, and
Which we have now, I believe.
And that we can go real quick back to the banner.
Did you say you have a coffin?
It's like a little casket
It's a
necklace.
little message device. Yeah, it looks like a little coffin.
Yep.
It's very strange.
Oh no, maybe we don't have a banner. Never mind. I thought the banner mentioned it, but her dancing troupe, she was from the Sea Maidens Fair, and then she had local performers that she hired to perform with her. They were dancers.
Mm-hmm. That's what it is. Okay, I know I see that.
The little casket. So yeah, it's all. You got some pieces.
All
here
coming
to
together
figure out.
now.
Yep.
All right. Okay. Well. Yeah. As I've stated before, we're coming to investigate. Sure, yes, because we were tracking the thing that blew up our street, and the tracks lead here. It might lead somewhere else, but we did happen to see your Nimblewright, I guess is what you're calling it, on the roof. Now that we know that it's not him, no problem. But I will say, we're not the only ones apparently looking for him.
Do you have any, maybe someone's trying to frame him. Have you made any enemies? Any ne'er-do-wells?
Valletta says the only real enemies of the Temple of Gond are the fantasy the fantasy Mennonites and the fantasy Amish. Those let me tell you about those Amish elves. They really hate technology. They'd never use a Nimblewright of their own.
They can only use it for work, but they can't use it in their personal life.
Yeah, the elves of the Amish enclave.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, now those are some real bumpkins.
Yeah.
So like now that we're talking about other Nimblewrights, like how common are these things? Like it had been rare if we had to buy one, but like have I heard of more around the city?
So Spev, you haven't seen any others. I guess
okay.
You know that you did buy a Nim. You also Valletta handled that part of the process, but that's something you could ask about. You first met Nim when Valletta asked you to help look him over, make sure that because she mentioned something in passing about how cheap he was, how inexpensive he was for what he is, and she wanted to make sure that he wasn't malfunctioning or there weren't any issues because of the price that she was able to get him at.
Did one, were there, other than him not being able to talk, or two, like, do we remember anything about the seller?
You never met the seller.
Sure.
Are you asking Valletta that
Yeah,
question?
I would have at the time, I'm sure. But like I'm just kind of thinking back at the time I asked her about it, if she remembered anything about the seller.
Yeah, well she'll mention that she bought him from a man named Zardaj Zord.
That's
the Megazord fame.
Maiden Fair. He's the one who sent a spy to look for some information and / item related to finding the Vault of Dragons.
So now, like, if you're talking about it, so what Valletta says, like, I purchased Nim from Captain Zord, and Spev, you're absolutely right. We were able to get him for only 25,000 gold pieces, which is
What a deal.
an incredible price for what he is. And like you mentioned in your inspection, there are no defects. The only unusual thing is the crystal orb in his chest. But that to me is apparently just a Luskin design trait, which is where Captain Zord said that he purchased his Nimblewrights from.
Well, this is clearly a problem. Do you think there's any? Do you remember if he had any other Nimblewrights for sale, or is he trying to get these out on the street?
You hear from the back in the workshop someone crying for help.
Ma'am, do you have this? As I asked Valletta.
She says, "I'll be right back," and she'll head out.
Make sure Zev didn't kill himself. Oh shit. Oh god. Oh, that's like the fourth time this month.
You're adorable.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the compliment, but I'm a 50-year-old man. Thank you. It's like adult. It's like early adult for gnomes.
50-year-old men are adorable. I've met many attractive 50-year-old men.
Oh well, I straighten my armor a little bit, like, oh well, you're very nice yourself. But I must address the group of what do you wish to do with this other Nimblewright?
Well, we have to figure out its actual involvement, if it was just happened to be there or not. But it's the only thing that we have a clue on of what happened and why.
I don't think he was involved, but maybe he's seen others. Didn't he mention that there was another person who looked like him or similar?
That's literally what we've been talking about. Yes.
Yeah.
No, I know.
I've never seen another one.
Roland.
Oh, great! He gets yelled at. This is awesome.
I feel like I need just a player, I don't know, as obviously probably Spev and Valletta would know. Would others of us know more about Nimblewrights just in general in terms of how they're used in the city?
No, they are rare enough creatures. You've never seen one until you've met Nim. No one except Spev has seen a Nimblewright before.
I feel like Alu would be asking Spev and Nim at this point, tell us about Nimblewrights in general.
Or can you?
You bought him, but he seems like a person to me.
I mean, people can buy other people.
All of a sudden,
that happens here.
While they're talking, I'm just gonna kind of because I'm worried about our dear friend Zev. I'm gonna just kind of move towards a window to keep an eye on the workshop to see if Valletta needs help. But I kind of turn back to the group well, no, Nim is absolutely an anomaly. Sure, he's a mechanical man, and we all know how to build constructs and other sort of mechanical bits, but he's special in the right that he can create things of his own. He's able to. He has this beautiful little sparrow that he loves to fly off the tower that I hope nothing ever bad happens to. But he's able to. He's an automaton that can create automatons, and
yeah,
well, that's the definition of fascination right there.
So he's the singularity. Got it.
Yeah, Spev, you know that most, you've heard of Nimblewrights before. Most of the time, they're just a magical construct. They're created to serve as guards or assassins. Nim's creative choices are definitely unique. When you look outside, give me a perception check while I roll.
I would love to. D&D Beyond. Boop.
Not great, but I rolled.
Has enough time passed that I lost my bardic inspiration, or I still have that?
No, this conversation's still within 10 minutes.
All right. I have no idea how to roll a bardic inspiration.
Just roll a d6.
Roll another d6 and add it to what you just rolled.
I don't know how to do that in D&D Bound, so I'm going to do it in real life. Oh, a 1.
That's fine. My gentleman
11.
here rolled a 1. So You notice someone. It's a little fuzzy to make out, but you notice just a silhouette. It's moving around the corner of the tower.
Wait.
Oh, stink sticks. Okay, ladies, you're the only ones in this room I can trust. I'm gonna go. Like, does it look suspicious?
Is everything okay?
I love Spev so much.
There's someone in the courtyard.
You didn't see enough to know it was suspicious. You just noticed someone. Okay. Maybe it's Valletta. Maybe it's another acolyte.
Okay, yeah. So I'll just sort of clock that and kind of keep my eye. Yeah, I'm sure if there's a problem, I'd hear about it. So I might. Actually, should I insight it to see if it looks suspicious?
Sure.
Can I do that?
Yeah.
Cool. Plus
if
one.
You're trying to like guess from the gate or things like that. You think that
It's a bad day.
They were
I'm on edge.
I'll say this: they were walking crouched. Which, why would you do that normally, right?
If you belong here.
Okay, yeah. I think so. That's enough. That I'm like, okay, I'm already on edge. I'm already suspicious. I'll turn like, all right, ladies, please watch these guys. Nim, please watch them. I'm gonna go see what this person is on about.
But do you want Roland to go with you? Are you sure you can? Just as a precaution, he is our muscle man. That's really all he's good for.
Fen says, no, that's okay. I'll go with you.
Which one's Roland?
The big guy,
that would be me.
not the pumpkin.
All right, I can keep an eye on him.
Can Fen come?
All right, Mr. Roland. Hi, I'm Sprocket.
Fen, if you come, you lose your short rest. The time hasn't passed yet for you to actually recover that HP.
Yeah,
Fen, I think you should just chill.
But, I care more about myself, so
yeah,
Sure.
I'll try that help.
All right. And I will go pick up my glaive and be like, lead the way.
Is this a window or where's the nearest door?
I'm going to call... it's hard to make out on the temple. There's got to be a door to the courtyard, so I'm going to call... The temple, it has really interesting design. Each door is also a window. The windows can flip out into doors because this is the kind of crazy temple that this place is.
I was going to laugh, but really, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I will go ahead and head out. Do I still see this man shulking through the shadows?
Yeah, you see him kind of looking into the window.
Hello, sir. Welcome to the Hall of Wonder. Can I help you? The main entrance is around front.
Oh, he turns around. I heard a commotion. I just wanted to see what was up and see if everything was okay.
Are you here for the Nimblewright? It was not ours. It was not our explosion. Ours was very small.
No,
it was...
I just wanted to, normally the explosions I hear in the temple are very muffled, but I heard what I thought might have been gunshots.
All right, can I like look at this guy? And,
yeah,
like,
both of you can give me insight checks.
All right.
Oh, okay.
That's better. That's not too bad anyway.
What's my other character's insight? Oh, bad. 9.
Not
yeah.
Great. Yeah, 9.
Hell yeah, 9.
You know what? You don't. He seems on the level. He seems fine. Give me a perception check each.
Yeah, he's probably not the first person investigating strange noises coming from this place.
Yeah. All right.
It's the least weird thing to happen today.
He does seem like he's a stranger.
Good.
Spev, you notice that his clothes are a little singed. Like his cuffs, the edges of his boots. It seems like you're familiar with things blowing up.
Yeah, I have regular DM inspiration. I'm gonna roll that again.
Sure.
I forgot about that.
That is 3 9s in a row.
Yeah.
3 9s in a row. In the exact same way, like the exact same numbers and everything.
If you didn't know any better, you'd think that this guy was in a pretty recent explosion, maybe a couple hours ago or something. You can see that telltale, like the soot hasn't been cleaned off his eyebrows, sort of thing. His skin's maybe a little blistered around the lips, his soft areas.
Don't notice this. Okay.
You don't. No,
Oh.
apparently not.
Apparently
Oh,
not. I'm
I
guessing
see.
not
I
to.
see what's going on. I finally put the pieces together. We have here ourselves an amateur inventor, and you're looking for little tips and tricks, insider information,
Oh my god.
or maybe some help trying to get some of that soot and char marks out. Well, my friend, we have all the help you can get.
Let's see. Your passive insight is 11. Roland, your passive insight is 13.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not super insightful.
He says, yeah, I mean, I dabble a little bit. He thinks to himself, I'm a brewer by nature.
Brewer.
An alchemist.
Yeah, I do the odd
Such bullshit.
distill some stuff.
I love it.
But I heard the commotion. Obviously, like I know I'm not a personal believer in God. I mean, obviously, Gond is real.
Yeah, absolutely. Any inventor worth their salt knows that he is the one to go to.
But like this has been my first time in the temple, and obviously I apologize for not coming in through the main gate. But I heard the commotion, and I just was curious what was going on. I'll get out of your hair.
No. This is actually perfect, my friend. We have a whole lot of people who are very eager and interested in this place who also don't know what's going on, myself included, that are all kind of gathered in the main hall. So if you'd like to join me there, then, well, we can all get this sorted out and answer all the questions, because these fine folks, kind of looking over at Roland, like they seem to have other pieces of the puzzle, and I would love to get to the bottom of this, as I'm sure you are. Which I did not catch your name, my friend.
He says, my name's Erstul Floxen.
Erstul Floxen.
URSTULFLOXIN.
Erstul Floxen, sneaking around. Oh, yeah. Well, Erstul, it's a pleasure to meet you, and I would love to share notes with you and figure out what blew you up.
Sure.
If you'd like to join us inside.
Will that trigger Roland to put 2 and 2 together?
I mean, I don't think you've met Erstul Floxen before.
No, but the fact that he looks like he's been blown up.
Oh, once now
that he said it,
Spev points it out. Yeah,
like, how many other explosions are there in the city today?
Yeah. You
At
think?
least 2.
Oh, was he in Trollskull Alley earlier? As he kind of walks into the temple, the Grand Hall with you all.
Yeah. I am going to stand right in the middle of the front door.
When he comes in, Alu, you notice that you and Fen, because you've got the high passive perception, you notice that he immediately clocks Nim. Like eyes go straight to Nim.
And Alu is standing in a position of protectiveness.
Yeah. He sees that you are next to him and he relaxes.
Erstul relaxes?
Yep.
Interesting. Alu wants to know what is up.
Mm-hmm.
She definitely wants to know what's up. She's gonna ask him who he is and why he's here, and what his interest is in Nim, because she's just going to blatantly be like, I noticed your interest. What the fuck?
Being a secret spy thief, your sure aren't subtle.
No, I mean, not in this kind of situation, because she's already seen. When she's sneaking around, that's different. When she's already known, she's not subtle.
So what exactly did you ask?
Why do you look the way you do?
No, she's
Who are you?
He's like,
she's going to
my
ask-
mother kind of looked like me and my dad kind of looked like me, and
she's gonna look at him and basically be like, I notice you noticing Nim, and I want to know what your business is here.
What would be really funny is like he says, my mom kind of looked like me, but my dad doesn't.
The milkman, though.
Suddenly realize it right then and there.
yeah.
Holy shit.
Wait, but my dad's best friend looks a lot like me.
Milkman looks like me.
So you say you notice him noticing Nim. Erstul says, well, I notice you noticing me noticing Nim.
Oh my god.
Would Alu also
Please go back and forth.
Oh my gosh.
that he's been
Alu?
blown up?
Yeah. You give me a perception check, Alu.
Okay.
You
Great perception
notice that
check.
he's been blown up. You, I guess that's all you notice. Yeah.
I feel like if Roland has also kind of like
You
put
can.
two and two together,
I have
and-
very much parked myself in front of the door and being like, "No
and
one's
sort
leaving
of
this room now."
positioned himself in like a position. She probably would also kind of like move. He's there. She's gonna like move in between.
Yeah, Erstel's not bothered by that. He sees that you're with Nim, and he's like, Spev and Roland, because you saw his demeanor before, you both noticed that he seems a little less nervous and a little more relaxed.
Yeah,
I'm
why
not-
are you so
no, I'm
relaxed?
not.
Your relaxedness is making me nervous.
I'm not there. I was gonna stop and check on Valletta and make sure
Oh
everything
well,
was chill
they
before
by
heading
this
back.
point they kind of, she helped secure the thing with some grips, some clamps, and she walks back with you into the room.
All right, cool.
Give him the clamps.
Yeah. So yeah. What are you asking? I guess.
Well, so she notices he's been blown up.
Yep.
Notices his interest in him. She's probably gonna ask why. I think Alu would probably just basically be like, "You're blown up in Trollskull Alley today, weren't you? What are you doing here?"
He says, honestly, the same thing that you're doing here, sister.
How do you know what we're doing here?
He says, you followed the Nimblewright tracks.
Is that what you did?
I
Yeah.
don't like you.
I don't like him either. Yeah, Ollie his non-aggressiveness is making Ollie very suspicious.
What did you have invested in Trollskull Alley? Huh? Our tavern got blown up. We were gonna do a huge welcoming party. What did you lose?
He says, I lost some brothers.
Eyebrows?
He says, I lost 2 brothers in that blast, and I was trying to figure out what killed them.
Does he have any sort of insignia or badge or anything on him?
Roland and Alu can both give me perception checks with advantage. Okay. Roland, because you thought of it. Alu, because you'd be familiar with this.
That's pretty good. And then
That actually goes.
not so good. Okay, 22.
Way to think of
Hold on, let me do that again.
He doesn't have any insignia or anything, but you notice that the way he talks to Alu is as if they are co-workers.
Why is it just
Alu, he seems very familiar with you. Like, not that he knows you personally, but like you're here, he feels like the situation's handled.
Right.
Alu, have you shared with us who you've been talking to?
Like a question for Cherie.
Yeah, question for Cherie. Okay.
Yeah, she
right.
did.
I guess I noticed this familiarity, and I will look from her to him and back to her again. And I'll say to her, I think he's a Zhent, just like you. I think he's with them.
Is that why he's maybe not like so concerned that I'm here?
Yeah. So Roland, you're like shouting this across the hall. Yeah,
I am.
He's like, yeah, we're all friends here. He says, I'm from a different cell in the Black Network, but I know that you're Davil's girl, and I appreciate you and your friends taking care of those Xanathar bastards. I was trying to figure out what the hell killed Mikey and Ralphie, and it seems like you've got it handled.
Those are the 2 guys in the street.
Yeah,
Just
I would
center,
point out
weren't they?
that this Nim was not the one who killed anybody. He is willing to help us find more
This is
information.
not the
but-
Nimblewright you're looking for.
He says, if you've got it handled, you've got it handled. I trust you.
Mr. Erstel,
Ollie feels better about it now.
I am very sorry for the way I treated
know.
you before, and I'm sorry for your loss. You're cool. If you're cool with Alu, you're
Cool.
cool with me.
And he wanted to know whether or not he did that. Got it.
Alu's
get
not
that.
like super trusting, but she's like, all right, I can not be so hostile.
He says,
Maybe we
"Listen,
should go-
if you're all taking care of this, I'm gonna head back."
Maybe we
I'll-
should go check out the sea.
I'll look at
Yeah.
Alu and be like, should I let him out? Like, give her that one of those eyes.
Yeah, Alu would probably be like, yeah, okay.
All right, and then I guess I will stand aside.
Yeah, he'll stride out.
So you're not an inventor? Okay, see you later. So who was that guy?
I guess he'll as he's striding out, he says, "Oh no, I invent things."
Yeah,
I knew it. You.
he
All right.
invents
Hey,
stories and information.
never stop being curious.
Yeah. I invented this really great thing called a variable rate mortgage.
Oh my God. I knew you were evil.
We try to solve problems, not cause. Okay, see you later. He's out the door.
That's so funny.
Yeah, so what do you guys want to do now?
So the
All right.
Zhentarim's after this guy too?
Well, if Xanathar's
just
guild
wanted
is
to
involved,
check.
the Zhentarim are probably at least investigating just because they hate each other. And they've been going after each other for a while now. In fact, that might actually lend a little bit more credence of what Ground Zero looked like when this thing went off. When I went out to look at it, there were bodies pushed out in a radial pattern. I'm thinking the two people he was talking about, this is just a theory. At least two of those guys were in pursuit of whatever the hell went off here.
And you know, two of those victims were Zhentarim. Wilhelm and
Yeah.
you discovered that.
I'm trying to say I'm pretty sure those are the two. Yeah, I was. All right, so that's painting a bigger picture. Is that the Zhentarim lost a couple people here?
Was it were they just coincidences, or is this a Zhentarim hideout?
There's
Was
no
this
such
a
thing as
hit job?
coincidence when it comes to the Zhentarim and the Xanathar's guild.
Not
There's
a
no way.
coincidence, but we don't have more information than that.
That's what we're here trying to find out. We saw whatever Nimblewright actually did this. Alu here saw him walking away and got a pretty good look at his facade. Apparently, Nim doesn't look anything like him. They're
Nope.
not even
So-
the same materials.
Huh. So let's consolidate information here. Earlier this morning, Nimblewright delivered some sort of explosive, possibly aimed at the Zhentarim themselves, and headed back this way, and then disappeared further into the city, thus drawing the attention towards us and our dear friend Nim.
Wilhelm's
Yeah.
going to interrupt, and he says, "We have reason to suspect that the Zhentarim weren't the targets." And he kind of nods knowingly to Holly and Rolan.
They might have been in pursuit of this guy, but it might not been them.
So, any idea if there was targets, or was this a defensive maneuver?
Actual intent, for sure? No, I have no idea. But that's what we intend to find out. You do face a problem now, though, buddy. Unfortunately, we're about the only ones that know the truth. And that has been three parties that have come today alone looking for this thing. And it knew well enough that you all have one here. And it knew that it could possibly point the finger to Nim.
So you're saying we probably got set up.
We need to find this thing. I think everyone's leading in here. We ran into a tactic kind of like this where there's a bunch of fake treasure maps all pointing to the same spot.
Oh,
It's a similar tactic. And I'm thinking that Nim here is being set up for a fall guy. Now, it
That's
seems
what
to
I
me
was
that
trying to say before. God, you never listen. Continue.
Is there someone talking? Oh,
So,
Valletta
this is
says,
buzzing in my ear. I don't know why.
Valletta says, this temple can keep Nim safe. Now that we know, we can go into lockdown mode. And she's going to walk over and press a red button on a console. And you see turrets rising around the temple. You see steel barricades going across the outer wall and the inner walls, the outer walls of the temple itself, and then the outer walls of the courtyard. You see red beams of light different scattered ones starting to patrol
God.
across the temple.
Roland takes one look around this place. He's like, I fucking love this place more and more. So
Oh, yeah.
cool.
You see that gate right there? The inner lower left retainer spring. I invented that.
Yeah.
So hot.
Awesome, buddy.
Hey,
Really,
Nim,
really great.
so Nim,
Wait a
you
minute. Did
level
Holly say that was hot?
Holly Reese is going to talk to Nim and just say, like, hey, buddy, you lay low for a while. Valletta's got your back. We've got your back. You're in good hands.
I do want to ask a favor, though. And he'll point at that umbrella thing. That detects more Nimblewrights, right?
It's trying to.
Valletta
In
says,
theory.
Anything we can do to help you finish that faster? We might need that if we're going to track down the other one.
yeah, so Valletta has that device. You see that with the security measures in place, Nim starts slowing down a little bit, and she says there's magical disruption fields as a defensive measure.
Probably the best, but
Nim will be okay, but he's going to be a little slow. If you want to finish this and be able to confirm that it's working, honestly, the best thing to do would be to take this to a different location where we don't have the disruptive fields and try and finish it there. I don't know what it still needs to work, but it probably can't be completed while we're in a defensive state.
okay. We might have some access to somebody who can help us out with that. If you don't mind parting with it for a bit, we'll take it. We'll try and track this guy down. We have leads now anyways, but this would help us take a more direct path to this thing if we could track it.
And we'll make sure Fen doesn't touch it so it won't get broken.
Valletta says to that end, this device would help people find Nim that might be looking to hurt a Nimblewright. I apologize, but I don't know you well enough and can't trust you with it. Spev, I know that you're here to protect the temple, but you have experience operating within the city. I'd like you to finish the device, but stay with it.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely, yes, absolutely. I've taken cracks at it before, but this is a tough nut to crack. But yeah, I will absolutely take care of it.
We might have a few things that will help you out. It's nothing like this place, but we do have a couple people who might know what they're about to help you out.
Spev, are you joining our group?
Well, this certainly sounds like one big problem, and I love trying to solve a problem. But yeah, certainly, I can't.
Oh my God! Holly Reese just like squeals with glee. She's so
All right,
excited.
Okay,
Well,
thank you.
If you're on
Shut up,
board,
Roland.
Valletta says, Spev, when you have a moment, you should probably report to Savra.
Yeah, absolutely. That she's the Hall of Justice, isn't she?
Yes, Savra
Okay.
Bellabranta.
Yeah, with the Order of the Gauntlet. All right, cool. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. She definitely needs to know what's. They definitely need to know what's going on here.
Do you?
Do you think our tiger friend can help us? Sorry.
Valletta, she's addressing the party at large. She says, "Do you have a secure location for Spev to stay at, away from the temple for a short time?"
I've never stayed away from the temple.
Ish.
we can
Is
do
that
that.
secure though?
We can. No, it's not. We're not staying in a burned out manor. No. We can stay at my mom at the
The Trollskull Manor is not burned out. It's Froon's Brews across the street that's burnt out.
Yeah.
The
thought
Trollskull
our
Manor
door-
just has
It look is right across the street from the scene of the crime.
the
I
door
thought
got
Roland-
blown in, but when you had left, the halflings were already working on fixing it.
Yeah, the halfling and the poltergeist.
Yeah, and the medicine people.
Yeah. We can go back to the stupid tarred tavern with the halflings and our were-rat and poltergeist.
This sounds awful. It sounds very bad. Are you sure I can't just stay in my workshop like usual?
not
Like,
as
I
bad
don't
as
know
you
how
might
the I won't have all my tools.
Just stay in my room. I assure you, it's the best room in the manor. You'll be fine.
Wilhelm says it did just get renovated.
Well, you can take whatever tools you need. We're not.
I start stuffing my pockets. Like I just grab like a handful of tools that are on a table and just like throw them in my pockets.
Wilhelm says,
sort of a
I'll help with
library."
that. And he starts shoving stuff into his pockets as well.
No, please not you. Please put those back. We will get the tote bag to fill that up.
He says, oh, sure.
Madam Valletta, if you really think this is the right way, I'll be honored to take this task up for you and the cause. The cause being Nim not dying.
She says, and I'd like to. Those were citizens of Waterdeep that were killed.
Them too.
We need to do what we can to provide with them with justice.
Yeah. Them too. Absolutely. No, you are absolutely right. I will definitely get to the bottom of this for you.
Well, all right then. Let's go
Just
check in.
Please don't let Zev touch any of my stuff. He can hold the spring, but that's about it.
She says, don't worry, I'll keep Zev in place. Zev is no
Valletta?
Spev.
You're a saint.
All right. Well, then, if that's the case, I think we should get going. Sooner is better. We
Yeah.
gotta go visit your friend at the Hall of Justice first, and then we'll head home.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Is that? I guess that's up to you guys. You don't have to visit her right away, but yeah,
Just start right away, whenever.
you tell me where you wanna go next.
What time would it be right about now?
At this point, so
Late
with
at
the
night.
tracking and the things, it's in the afternoon. With the fight you had earlier, like you could still do stuff today if you wanted to, or you could call it a night. It says you all set the pace here.
If we've got the time, I'd like to get any business you need to do out of the way. That way we can dedicate our time to tracking this thing down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Can
there's
anybody heal Fen? Like anybody got like any heal spells? Get me back to 100.
Wilhelm won't have any until he long rests.
Spev side eyes you and then keeps walking.
I have healing hands, I think.
I don't have anything
No
currently.
big deal. Just I figured I'd ask since I'm perpetually.
Ordered up. Yeah.
So, I mean, you guys have some. You can go to a couple different places. You can go to the Hall of Justice. You can go. Really, like you guys have all sorts of contacts, right? You have contacts in Waterdeep Castle. Holly knows the Lord's Alliance. You have the Harpers Guild you could lean on. Alu, you could go ask the Zents. Like, this is an investigation. You have all these resources. You tell me how you want to spend your time and resources.
I don't know how helpful Force Grey is going to be with this.
Yeah, as a player, like, do we have any other leads, or did the trail go cold getting to the Hall of Wonder?
The other.
So
Well, we learned that Captain Zord
Yeah.
Water.
sold you this one, but he may have sold another one. Maybe it's reporting to him directly. We don't
Yeah.
know.
yeah, so
You couldn't get the detector working. That's where I was going to go.
so you're
So we got him, or we know the Zents are involved in that. They've got a couple people dead, so they're probably one of the most interested groups.
Yep.
Okay.
No,
No
you
work.
also, Spev doesn't know this, but the rest, Rolan knows this, that you could always go back and check with the Black Staff on that other thing.
Yeah. We can all, yeah. We've got to know what the status of that
What
thing
about
was.
the Dung Sweepers Guild?
You could check with the
That's
Dung Sweepers
A
Guild.
fair, actually, yeah, that's a good,
Yeah,
good idea.
People in the street.
it's up to you. You tell me.
All right. I'd say let's go check out the most likely factions to know something. We can split up, find intel, come back to regroup at the tavern, and then let's find out what we know, what we can piece
Sounds
together.
so. Spend the afternoon, everyone going their own ways. We'll take like 10 minutes each person and have them spend their time investigating and then regroup.
Yeah.
Okay.
We need to identify which factions are best, though.
Absolutely. In that case, oh, Shuri was out. In that
Zen-
case, let's start. We'll flip the order. Let's start with Fen. Normally, you go last just because you're on the right side of the screen. But Ian, what would Fen like to do with his afternoon?
Fen is definitely like itching to get his fedora rocking.
Yep.
So if he can make his way over to, I forget exactly where they were like holed up, but like it's like a haberdashery.
It is the northern part of the Sea Ward. You have no problem traveling there.
Ian, you might be mad, but apparently I can take the temple to take the party to a temple and heal everyone.
Yeah, I'm mad. I hate you. You really
I just saw that after you rolled your hit die in my notes that Cameron sent me.
But would Spev do that at the
No, that was that side eye. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, that was absolutely that. Like, I'm sorry, you seem like a great guy, but like I got no reason to trust
doesn't
him.
like
Game.
So
really like
so you get to Nevercott's haberdashery.
Okay.
That sounds familiar.
You get there, you see the sign, you walk in, you see a man that you don't recognize at the counter.
Not the dude that I met.
Not the dude you met.
Okay, can I see what race he is? Can I do a...
Yeah, he's human. He looks not very much like the other JB Nevercott that you met. He's introduces himself. He says, "Hi, I'm JB Nevercott. Welcome to the haberdashery. What can I do for you, sir?"
Wait a minute. So the last guy I met was JB Nevercott?
Yes.
And this guy is claiming to be JB Nevercott?
Yes.
And I can clearly see that he's not the same guy.
No. You do see a box on the table has a note marked Fen.
Ah.
It's a hat.
So I'm going to go in there and grab the note.
Well, he stops you from grabbing the box. He's like, can I help you, sir?
Yeah, I spoke to a representative of this establishment earlier. My name is Fen. He told me to come here and see if come here when I had a chance and have a talk with him.
He says, "Oh, you're you're Fen Merrick?"
Yeah, that's me.
He says, "Then I have made this hat for you." And he pushes the box your way.
Hell yeah, it is a hat.
Okay, so Fen takes the hat.
Yep.
He's gonna put it on, first of all, look at himself in the mirror.
Give me a perception check.
All right. I wasn't done with the hat, but okay.
No, this is about the hat.
Oh, believe me, I was gonna inspect that hat. All right. Perception check, it's +4. Okay.
You looking at this hat, it's interesting because you didn't give JB like specifications. He didn't measure your head or anything, but this in your mind's eye is exactly what you were hoping for you would get in a hat. It's better than what you dreamed it could have been. You were expecting a nice hat. You think that you are now going to be a hat guy because of this hat.
Because I feel like I look like an archaeologist who adventures all over the world and discovers amazing things. And
yeah. I mean, you haven't put it on yet. This is just you open the box and you're looking at it right now, but you already envision what you're going to look like when you put it on and you stand in front of the mirror.
Yeah. So this immediately engenders like some affectionate feelings for the man and maybe some trust for the group. Because, I feel like they know me. I feel comfortable. I feel seen, really, is what it is. I feel seen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
are you at all suspicious that this JB Nevercott isn't the same guy?
I am. So that's what I'm going to say. So I'm walking up to this guy and I'm going to say, "This is a really beautiful hat. What do I owe you?" I'm going to ask that question. What do I owe you for the hat?
He says, "No, I told you I'd make a hat, and this is my gift to you."
Okay, so now he's going to ask. So definitely suspicious. So Fen's asking, Do I know you? Have we met before? Are you sure that we've met before?
He says, "Yes, we met during your morning run in the North Ward yesterday."
Okay. Do you have a brother, possibly?
He says, "No, only child." I mean, I did have a brother, but that he died in the womb.
Oh my God. Okay.
A lot of information.
Fen is like ultra creeped out now at this point. So he's going to come clean. He's going to say, okay, yeah, I definitely remember meeting you, but I don't remember it being you. It was someone who, with your name, but I don't remember you looking like this. So did you have an accident between now and the last time we spoke? Or
He says, no, this is me.
is it now? Do you have any associates, maybe?
He says, oh, I run the shop myself.
Huh.
Set the fuck out of that guy.
All right. Well, I got the impression last time we met that you had some information regarding something that I might be interested in.
He says,
So,
no, I just do hats. This was obviously a gift, but I also do clothing. 30 gold pieces will get you the finest threads that you've seen in the Sea Ward. 15 gold pieces can get you another hat. This one was a one-off custom, but as you can see from the walls, I do many fine hats.
okay.
Need another perception check.
I mean, sure, I guess. I mean,
You can.
Insight if you think he's sus.
Yeah, you can insight.
no,
you can
definitely
Do both.
He's
You're
freaked out.
observing
Fen is
maybe
freaked
if
out.
Fen's a little suspicious, you're observing your surroundings and you're trying to clock this guy.
So Fen's a little bit suspicious actually because the hat's a little too good,
Mm-hmm.
right? So like maybe he's
Let me
been,
know.
like,
how do you
I'm
know this about
assuming
me?
I'm assuming you're not putting the hat on until you tell me you are.
I mean, I tried the hat on first. I admired myself in the mirror because
Okay,
Fen's super vain.
so you do put the hat on. So when you put the hat on,
Oh
you
god.
hear someone whispering in your
Do I
ear.
explode?
No, you hear,
Just
you
her head.
hear the voice of JB Nevercaught, the one that you talked with yesterday morning. You hear him say, "There's a man I often tailor suits for, a large, heavy-set individual who goes by the name of Laertes Hansberg. I swear I've never seen a nobleman so fat. Anyway, he'll be picking up a new hat for me tomorrow evening. On his way home, I want you and your folks to be there. And I want you and your folks to snag a handkerchief out of his pocket. And I want you and your folks to ensure that handkerchief goes to Ra, a little tiefling girl who lives down by the docks in a box. If you can do that for me, I'd love to discuss Bronze Stonebridge's whereabouts in more detail."
Is she buried in rocks? Is she covered in locks?
She eats locks.
Does she wear white socks?
Do you invest in stocks?
No, she's a big Red Sox fan.
So she loves the
Oh,
red-
go stocks. Okay.
Go Sox.
He says
This joke
You'll-
rocks.
you can find Ra.
So sorry.
I guess it might be pronounced it's YRA, so you know, Ian. You can find her on
Ira?
on Dock Street near Alline's Way.
Okay, I just want to ask, like, what exactly did he mention already? What like would be in it for Fen in this case?
So he said that he represents Bregaen Daerthe, and
Right.
he reached out to Fen because he thinks that Fen is a sympathetic person to the cause of the Drow in the surface, what they face. He was looking for Fen to help with. He is. JB Nevercaught said he's not a member of Bregaen Daerthe, but he's an information broker that works with them, and they've asked him to find some individuals that might be able to help with errands. So what JB said to Fen during the last time they talked was that if you can help me, if you come see me, I have a hat for you. I have something that I was asking for you to do, a small favor, and to show my good faith, here's a hat as a gift. And when you do this for me, I think I can help. While you're doing this for me, I can dig into Bran's whereabouts. because Bran was spotted in the Sea Ward somewhere.
And really, all I'm doing is helping this little girl, tiefling girl.
Yep.
See,
Maybe.
Maybe.
she might be a 1,000-year-old dragon. We don't know.
True. All right. So Fen has this information. He's taking notes in his little detective notebook.
Yep.
While he wears his fedora and smokes a cigar.
Yep. You hear JB Nevercott in a different voice, the voice of the man in the store. You hear the man in the store say, the hat looks really incredible on you, sir. If I do say so myself.
Thank you very much. But, I already knew that. But thank you very much. I appreciate it. All right. So do I have... obviously, you say you want me to bring my crew along with me, right? To have them be a part of this? You're asking?
I'm sorry. I don't know what you're talking about.
Got it. Great. You're helpful. Appreciate it. Okay. Do you need an answer today? Am I allowed to think about it for a minute?
The hat? No, it's a gift. You don't have to think about it. You can take it home.
Oh, good. I'm going to take the hat home. I appreciate everything that you've told me here. Yeah, maybe I'll come back. I'll wear the hat for a few days if it really works out to my liking. Maybe I'll frequent your establishment in the future.
Absolutely. Like I said, the clothes are very extravagant and fine, and I think they'd suit you well. Hope to see you again, sir.
Thank you. All right. Ben is leaving suspicious. But
yeah. Just so I clarify something, the voice that you heard came from inside the hat.
Inside that, so I'm hearing
the JB Nevercott's voice from yesterday came from inside the hat. You didn't hear it from the man. The man was talking normally.
And the man behind the counter is a totally separate entity, it looks like.
Yeah. So, look, Fen knows what he needs to do. He can choose whether or not he wants to do it later on.
Yep.
He's got the hat, which is really what he wanted, frankly.
Yep.
So he leaves the shop. He's going to go back to his home because he's going to have a conversation with his folks. Some insight into Fen's thinking here. He's definitely leaning towards doing this, mainly because he's mostly in it for himself here. He wants to investigate his wife and anybody who has information about his wife.
And Fen has not told the rest of the party about this contact.
Yeah, the only
anything to do with your wife, count Rolan in.
Yeah, that's the thing. So if nobody really in the crew knows anything really about Fen's wife except for Rolan.
That's not true. You've talked about it before. Wilhelm and you.
Was I drunk?
Probably, but Wilhelm and you talked about your wife.
Wilhelm.
But Holly and Alu were there while he was asking you questions.
Oh, so everybody knows. Fuck it. All right. Yep. Great. All right. Well, that's
we don't know everything, though. We just know
you just know that.
That's kind of thing. Neither does Fen.
Yeah.
Some people don't know anything.
So Fen's gonna walk back to Trollskull Manor, and that's kind of his activities for the day. Let's switch over to Rolan. Or actually, no. Let's do Holly next. If we're going right to left this time, Holly, you leave the House of Inspired Hands. Everyone's splitting up. What are you doing?
I am gonna go to the Dung Sweepers Guild and just see if they've noticed any shifty characters, or if they maybe noticed anything after, because I'm sure they helped clean up after the explosion.
Yeah. So you go to your contact in the Dung Sweepers Guild, who was, let's see.
Is it Morton?
Yes.
And I wasn't able to meet him in person. It was one of my staff met him.
Yes, they've accompanied them around for the day. Yeah, so you met you meet with Morton after the shift. It's, they're drinking in a bar where you were going to meet them. Let me make sure I've got my information correct. Dirty deeds done cheap. Yeah, so you met with Morton Till at the Mule Skull Tavern on Ship Street. And he says, thanks again, ma'am, with your servant. Things were uneventful, but we all felt safer today.
Oh, good. I am so glad.
I hope you'll be joining us in person soon.
Dallister will be so proud to know that everything is going well. Listen, this explosion that occurred earlier this morning. First of all, are you and your crew, like, are you guys good?
Yes, well, we don't operate in the North Ward. We're in the Dock Ward. But yeah, we didn't lose any brothers in the North Ward, fortunately. I haven't heard the details yet of what's happened there. But it sounds like, unfortunately, the lives lost were fortunately none of ours.
So I have, and that's great to hear. I have reason to believe that it may have been between the Xanathar's Guild and Zhentarim again. You wouldn't happen to have noticed or overheard anything between those two guilds, have you? Leading up to it?
Morton kind of closes his arms and he looks at you and he squints and he's like, do you not even remember what we talked about yesterday? Like, these guys are at each other's fucking throats, lady. Like, that's why we asked for your help.
I know. I understand that. We... Let me start over.
He nudges someone and he's like, Errol, you see this? These rich folks, they don't even fucking pay attention when you talk, do they? Miss Princess doesn't even deign to grace us with her presence. She sends someone more on our level to take care of us. I see how it is. Well, ma'am,
hey,
let me not sully you further with our presence.
Till, sit your ass down. I'm not dealing with this shit. Now. And Hollyreese is gonna grab him by the collar and be like, look, our tavern almost got blew in, and we lost a dear friend named Prune who was going to provide us with alcohol for our opening, which you would have been more than welcome to attend. But now you're just being a dick. And I am trying to be polite, and I am sitting here asking you if you have noticed or heard anything regarding this metal man, this Nimblewright thing. Have you seen anything like that at all?
So give me an intimidation check. Morton quiets down and he says,
I'll bet.
I'm sorry, ma'am, that must have been tough. No, I can ask the lads from the North Ward.
Get your alcohol.
And I'm sorry about your friend.
Thank you. No. And Hollyreese, like, dusts herself off and takes a deep breath. I'm sorry for getting so angry. I get that the rich folk, right? I get it. We are out of touch. I'm trying to be better. So give me a fucking break. Huh? Thank you for your help. The next time I need you, I assure you that I will be here in person. I just request that it be after 6 a.m. And if you and your team, your friends, need anything, you always have a place at the Go Delicately Manor.
Morton snorts and he says, I don't know if that's true, but all right.
Hey, if I said it's true, then it's true.
Errol says, if we go there, are we going to be fitted with those collar things that'll explode and kill us if you get hurt? Because I don't know if I necessarily feel welcome there. I know what they do to people like us at the Go Delicately Manor.
No, I assure you that I will not allow that to happen, and I am working on my family to get rid of that horrible thing because I recognize that it's not fair.
They say, all right, well, listen, we aren't rich folk, so we don't get to set our schedule. So if you are serious about helping us, then we will see you tomorrow at 6 a.m.
God damn it. I'll see what I can do. I'm in the middle of we're trying to figure out the explosion, but I'll try to be here.
All right, have a good day, ma'am.
Yeah, you too.
All right. And
Yeah.
you can, is there anything else you want to do, or you want to head back to Trollskull yourself?
I'll head back to Trollskull.
All right. Next.
Wait, no, I have one more thing that I want to do.
Yes.
I want to go see my buddy Vincent.
Okay. You go back to Trollskull Alley. You go and you see that Vincent's door is closed. He says, out on an investigation.
He's always out on an investigation. That's what
Something
Hollywood.
what about a falcon statue or something?
And then he. And
No,
she'll go
remember
back.
Vincent's out looking for the goblin that Alu murdered, his family,
right.
so that
Yeah.
Wilhelm can pay them their health insurance policy, their life insurance policy.
Right.
All right. Wilhelm, he headed back to the Trollskull Manor. He is reaching out to his Harper contacts, but that's all he's doing. Sprocket, what are you doing?
I will be going. I thought I was going to go with him to the house or the Hall of Justice.
Yeah, if anyone's traveling together, that's fine too. So Sprocket and Rolan. What?
IRL clearing getting
That's what I
paint over
figured.
myself.
That's what I figured we'd do.
Your bottle of paint exploded. Cool.
Yeah, so you are headed to the Hall of Justice, is what you said, or somewhere else?
Yeah. I certainly think so. So like as we're all kind of like immediately leaving the Hall of Wonders, like everyone goes their separate ways, and we go like, oh wait, where are we meeting later? I'll figure it out.
No
Yes.
worries. I'll show you where we're going.
So
You want to come with me? I'm gonna go check on the contacts at the Hall of Justice.
Yeah,
You
that
say it
sounds
like
good.
that.
yes, so you go to the Hall of Justice, which is in the shadow of Blackstaff Tower. By this point in the day, you see.
The hell happened to my paint?
Dun, dun,
Dun, dun,
I
dun.
want that one.
Mother.
You see Savra. She greets you, Spev, with a smile. She gives you a hearty slap on the back.
Ow. Okay. Hi.
she
Great
says-
to see you again.
How are you doing, little man?
I'm perfectly average for gnome height, but I mean I've had better days. Well, Valletta and I were working on a very fascinating new spring system for the agricultural endeavors of the city, and then all these sudden people started busting down our door and starting fights in the temple, and more people kept showing up, all after some sort of ruckus. And I really want to know if maybe, I don't know, you've heard anything about any of this.
Any of the
Savra says,
Any of the ruckus.
I was just about to send for you because of some information I've gotten. She looks over at you, Roland, and Spev, she asks you, she says, who's your friend?
Honestly, I have no idea. He's just like standing there tall and imposing. We haven't actually introduced himself yet, and he just sort of showed up. And
I will give a small bow to her, and say, "Hello, my name is Roland. I am
Roland.
Roland. Yes. I am
you
working
know-
with a group. Yeah.
You know of Savra. You know that the Bellabrantas are a Waterdavian noble family. They raise the griffins for the Griffin Cavalry. They
very
own
cool.
the eyrie at the top of Mount Waterdeep.
Got it. All right, my bow will go a little deeper this time then.
You heard rumors about Spev, you may not have heard these rumors. If you want to roll a history check, you can.
I would love to.
But Roland, you heard the rumors of Savra falling in with the evil elemental cult called the Howling Hatred.
What?
And
With a name like that, I'd join.
after she left them, she's been working in the Hall of Justice, serving Tyr to try and atone for her sins. And she has taken a public oath for the Order of the Gauntlet.
Got it.
So very devout to the cause, then.
Got it. So yeah, I give her a bow and I introduce myself as Rolan Jatoro. I was one of the members of one of the parties to show up at the House of Inspired Hands recently. If you have not heard, there was an explosion in the North Ward. The property that I helped manage and maintain was part of that explosion, and I was looking for answers. One of my associates saw what looks to be a Nimblewright.
Not Nim.
Not Nim, as it turns out, but we didn't know at the time, walking or running, ambulating away from the scene of the crime.
Ambulating.
It's a good
Yeah,
word.
good ass word.
What the fuck? What have you been like reading? What the fuck?
That is
Word of day calendar over
literally
here.
the word I use most of all when I walk patients in physical therapy.
I'll
Ambulating.
show off.
Ambulating, yes, indeed.
Fuck me.
Roland's read a book. It's fine.
A single word, a single book on how to use ambulating.
The suspect
He's read the
did
dictionary.
approach
He's
your
started-
your establishment, I think, in an attempt to set up Nim as a fall person, a fall guy, I guess, is if you will.
Our establishment, the Hall of Justice?
No, the House of Inspired Hands.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
okay.
I
People
assumed you were
evolve.
associated with it.
Not
But-
directly.
Not directly. Okay. But we are currently looking for leads on anything having to do with a mechanical man being spotted in the city beyond what would be usual for Nim. As I can understand, he's very much a homebody.
She says, well, that's interesting. Savra says, we recently got a Nimblewright to help guard and do some filing in the halls.
Really?
Yeah, based on your recommendation, how the process went, based on Valletta's recommendation, we reached out and purchased one ourselves.
Where did you possibly find a second one?
She says, we bought a Nimblewright from Captain Zord of the Sea Maidens Fair.
So he has more than one to give away.
To sell.
Would you say that it was a good deal financially for you?
Exceptionally, yeah. It was only 25,000 gold pieces.
What?
Which, I mean, that's
Really?
a lot of money, but for
For an
How-
organization such
for
as
one of
yourself, I imagine.
How well does yours? How well does yours function?
it seems fine. She says, "Right, come here." And you see a Nimblewright walking forward, and you see that this one is instead of being bronze or copper, this one is silver. It's got ornate markings of Tyr and Torm on its carved into its wooden pieces, and then it's got a silver breastplate that's very finely polished, and its hands are silver. And she points at him to you, Spev, and she says, "Order the Gauntlet, right?"
This is truly remarkable. This is absolutely fascinating. Wow, I didn't even know they made them this exquisite.
Can I do a once over of it to see if it's up to snuff?
Yeah,
As
absolutely.
on, like,
Give me
Nim's level
an
or better?
Investigation check.
I would love to. Boop. Oh, damn! That is a crit,
Yeah.
my friend.
You, it's not immediately apparent, but you notice this, Spev, is that the breastplate has a semicircle in it, as if where Nim had his crystal orb, this breastplate sits over what is likely a similar crystal orb.
Like even kind of tinkering around, do I get any sort of, am I able to kind of peek around to see if it also has a crystal orb?
Yeah. Savra's totally fine letting you.
So the main difference is that this thing has an outlet cover.
Yeah.
With permission, I would take off the access cover and get in there as much as you would let me start checking this thing out internally.
Yeah. Wright seems okay with it.
Right.
She says, I mean, it's an extremely efficient filer. Like, we were putting case records in. We were renewing our case record system. It's been in the basement all of today with 2 of our acolytes, and they managed to get the whole basement rearranged in just 14 hours, which, normally that would have taken a week.
That is truly remarkable. How long have you had this excellent specimen?
She says, 3 weeks, maybe a month.
Oh, wonderful.
But probably not quite a month, because I think I got him about the week after you mentioned that you got Nim.
Oh, that is truly wonderful. You got an amazing specimen.
Can I approach her and, like, under my breath, ask her a question?
Sure.
Would she be okay if I did that?
Yeah, she would.
Okay.
Why is my 2?
I'll like very quietly. I'll say, have you noticed anything missing in that time?
From the Hall of Justice?
Yes.
No.
Anything that this one, as I kind of make a motion over to the Nimblewright, anything that they have directly overseen?
She says, no.
Okay. Just curious.
And
all right,
Alu, you described to everyone what the Nimblewright you saw look like, right?
Yeah.
So, Rolan, you would know that this is not the same Nimblewright. This doesn't have the facial hair. This has like a nightly mask, but it's like that's just its face.
I'm looking for the rogue, not the knight.
Yeah.
Essentially. Okay. Interesting.
Rogue Nimblewright.
In my investigation, at one point, I would address
Nimblewright.
I would address this guy and be like, "Its name's Wright, isn't it?"
Yes.
Or I'd be like, "Wright, could you please state your function?"
Wright signs to you, and you know this because you work with Nim.
Human cyborg relations.
He says, I serve as guard and page to Savra Bellabranta.
How is his speed comparable to what Nim is, or is he like quicker? Does it seem like he's got more processors firing?
No, he seems. I mean, he's faster than what Nim is now with the magic disruption field fucking him up. But Nim. He and Nim seem like they're basically the same.
Okay, largely. Okay, same. Roughly of the same quality besides the external materials.
Yep.
Okay. I think after I look him over all the way, I will look back towards Sever and go like, so, have you heard of any more? I mean, you didn't even inform the Hall of Wonders as to what that you had purchased a Nimblewright, let alone that there's more for sale.
She says, I don't know about more for sale, but yeah, we were able to get one. And like I said, I was going to tell you about it, but things have just been crazy with the Zhentarim Xanathar turf wars. I haven't gotten around to visiting you or asking for you. There is one other thing I wanted to mention, and this is the real reason that we've been focused elsewhere instead of running right by you for examination. She says there's rumors that Lord Neverember's enigma may have been found.
Enigma? What might that be?
Yeah, does that make sense to either of us?
You guys, no. It doesn't 100% make sense. She says, we think that the people are going crazy all across the city looking for this treasure hoard, and the key to it, we heard, has been spotted, or has someone is. We heard a rumor that someone says they had the key.
Oh, really? What do you have any idea who that person is?
No, that's what I was going to ask Spev to look into for the order if he could. It's just the rumor, like we got rumors that the vault maps have been showing up. We got all sorts of crazy stuff has been going on. And obviously if we were able to procure that treasure, per order rules, 25% of it would be tithed to the order to help us fund our quest for justice. And Spev, I'd like you to help us find it if you can.
Yeah, absolutely. I can certainly try. Just for my record, what was it called again? What they're looking for?
Enigma.
Never Ember's Enigma.
That's a hell of a D&D ass name.
It is.
Well, Enigma by its very nature sounds super fascinating to me. Yeah, I can certainly look into this.
I appreciate that, Spev.
Yeah, well, have you heard of any other Nimblewrights in the city?
She says, no, not that we've heard of. Just Nim and Wright. She says,
So
actually, now that I think about it, there's probably at least one named Bill.
I was just saying.
I was literally waiting for that one.
We will certainly track down this Bill.
She thinks about it. She says, I haven't been keeping track of them. Right, do you know of any other Nimblewrights in the city? Let me. Wright shakes his head.
Do I know if there's any sort of like technically minded folks or like any sort of mechanics here at the Hall of Justice?
Yeah, the Order of the Gauntlet has, like, you're a member of the Order, you're not their chief engineer or anything. They have their own experts, which is why they felt comfortable buying Wright and assessing it.
Cool. Well, if there, I will certainly look into that for you. But I'm also very intrigued about this now increasing number of Nimblewrights in the city, and we have a device that may be able to track it. And I was wondering if one of your crew can help us try to fix and finish this device. And Nim made it, which is beyond fascinating for me. But we have a apparently Nimblewright tracking device, and I will produce that.
Cyber says, "Yeah, why don't?" She says, "Yeah, why don't you take that to Jelzar and let him take a look at it if you need help." Jelzar is the tech guy that supplies the halls of justice and keeps everything running.
Okay, yeah, I've probably been working with him before.
Yep.
Well, certainly. I will thank you for all your help, and I will certainly look into this enigma for you. This is we've got quite a mystery on our hands.
Yeah, she'll nod and give you another pat on the back and stride away with Wright following her.
All right, I will give her a farewell bow as well, and
Yep.
I will head out.
Or where are you two headed? Back to Trollskull Manor at this point, or are you going to go talk to Jelzar super quick?
Yeah, I definitely want to talk to Jelzar if he's nearby on the premises.
Yeah, he's in his workshop. He's maintaining some glyphs, reforging some stuff.
Okay, yeah, I will go, and I think I'm way more. I think Sprocket thinks he's way more familiar than he is with Jelzar, so he won't even knock. He'll just like wander right into the workshop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he says Nim, or he says Spev, what's up?
Oh, hey, Jelzar, long time no see. Looking pretty neat stuff. So we have a bit of a conundrum on our hands, and apparently, besides our two Nimblewrights, there are an increasing number in the city. And long story short, since my friend is very big and scary with his glaive, I don't want to keep you waiting. We need a little help if you can take a look at this Nimblewright detector to maybe advance our mystery search here.
Jelzar pushes his thick glasses up and he says, Oh, you got some new tech for me, huh?
Well, it's Nim's, believe it or not.
He says, yeah, let me
It's a little
take a
crude
look.
for my work.
He-
Yeah,
he-
yeah, absolutely.
He says he gives it a quick once over. He actually, it's not so quick. It takes him. He spends about 20 minutes looking at it with just muttering to himself, and he says, "Listen, I mean, Nim's work here is incredible. I think I have some theories on why it might not be working. Honestly, a lot of it's probably interference from his testing mechanism. If he's trying to check to see if there's a Nimblewright, and it's just giving him false positives because he's the one operating the thing.
Yeah, obviously.
Maybe it'll take me a couple days. Let me run it through its paces, see if I can isolate, debug the thing. He opens an end and a little cockroach pops out. And he said, "Well, there's one bug at least. We'll dig in and see what we can figure out. And yeah, we'll get this looked. I'll send for you at the temple as soon as I got news."
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, because apparently the whole city's up in arms and everyone's coming after Nim. At least 3 parties have wanted to try to kill our good friend, and it's only a matter of time before they start coming your way.
Just a question. Just saying. Just a question.
Yes.
Yeah, he says, yeah, it's why do they want to kill Nim?
Apparently there was another Nimblewright, a third, that is apparently set off a bomb and killed a couple Zhentarim and apparently destroyed a bar. And at least among
what you think it was Wright?
No. I didn't even know. Well, I can't be certain, but
Wright does not fit the description I was given.
well, that's
Could
a
it have
relief.
been? Could it have been Bill?
Who's Bill?
He's the Nimblewright at the city armory.
Oh, there's another one.
Yeah, he's they got him all shined up. He's got.
Do you know what he happens to look like?
Yeah, they did theirs a little differently. They got him dressed up as a city guard, so he's painted in green and orange, and he's got a helmet that's blank face, like totally like metal polished fine face. They gave him greaves, and you know, yeah, that's Bill. There's also, I don't know what it looks like, but there's also a Nimblewright I heard that the Order of Magists and Protectors got recently.
It's a bargain bin sale going on.
That one I saw it from a distance. That one's just like a very blank looking mannequin looking thing. No, they haven't decorated theirs at all.
Okay.
Huh.
Interesting.
Very.
But yeah,
a whole storm of these things.
They haven't even named theirs, which I think is a real shame. But yeah, I mean, we got Wright. The City Armory has Bill. You got Nim, and then they didn't name theirs at all. But I checked in on theirs. They brought theirs in for me to look at a week ago. Seems fine.
Well, why is everyone coming to you for it? Well, that's not important. we are clearly the expert and the first on. That's not important.
He says,
okay, is that
Spev? Listen, don't be jealous.
I'm trying not to. Well,
Anyway,
so is that all that you've heard of? We now have 4.
You mean like all of them in the city? I don't know about that, but that's the three that I've looked at, and then the one that you got. Those are the ones I know about.
Well, that's more than we know about, and that's fudged up. Well, do you know? You probably don't know if they've been accounted for by any means today. Well. he's clearly just sort of pouting and like just grumpy that they didn't come to him first about any sort of Nimblewrights, and that there is stuff that he knew about the city that there was stuff he didn't know about the city.
well,
Yeah.
thank you for the update, sir. I guess we will be on our way because we have an investigation to conduct.
Yep. All right.
Yeah, but do you have
Nice
one of
meeting
these?
you.
And I point to my armor. They leave.
He's,
Anyway.
flustered.
you hear Jelzar muttering to himself after you leave, like, "Oh, I'm Spev. I've got fancy armor. I'm so cool."
Jelzar thinks he's so cool with his fancy workshop and government contracts and huge workspace and Nimblewrights, more than one. Oh, did you get to work on?
I'll tell you
I
what he
kick a
doesn't
rock.
have, buddy. Yeah. I'll hear this and I say, I'll tell you what he doesn't have, buddy. Field experience, which you'll get working with us.
Yeah, that's the thing. He has a lot of field experience. That's why they go to him first. It's not fair.
All right, I'm gonna
Okay.
lean in. I'm gonna lean in quietly to him and be like, "What if I told you that we may have a lead on the Dragon Vault?"
The dragon. That's preposterous. That's a myth.
I'll just say this: we've interacted with a lot of different groups, and it keeps coming up. And we may have an in. We'll see.
I'll believe
That's
it when
something he'll never be able to replicate.
Well, that'd be a first time for everything, I suppose.
Yep.
So, are you two are heading back to Trollskull Alley now? Trollskull Manor. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I think the last thing we have to do is just check in with Alu. What did you do when you left the House of Inspired Hands? And then we'll call this a session.
So Alu, I'm glad we got to Rolan and Spev first, because for some reason I missed the part where they took the thing. Because originally I thought that I would have stayed, not that I'm going to be helpful with Nim fixing it, but I was going to stay with Nim. But since that's not an option, which is fine, because that makes more sense.
Valletta, her requirement was that Spev had the spanner. The
That
thing.
makes more sense, definitely. I think Alu probably would head like into the dock wards to the Mermaid's Tail, and she would touch base with her mentor, and then also start setting out feelers for her connections to be on the lookout for the Nimbleworth we're looking for.
Yes. So you'll head to the Mermaid's Arms, and you'll reach back out to Mantra. Yep, Mantra Nethsphera. So you go and you reach out to Mantra. What do you want to say to them?
So basically a brief description of the Nimbleworth I'm looking for. Nothing about why I'm looking for it, just if anybody sees it, knows where I can find it, to send word at the Trollskull Manor.
They say you're looking for Nimblewrights? Not far from here. I've been keeping an eye out with the stuff that's been going on. I think if you're looking for information on Nimblewrights, you should go talk to Captain Zord of the Sea Maidens Fair.
That's the guy.
Yeah, it sounds like we're going to have to pay him a visit no matter what.
Yep. Okay.
I got some questions.
I feel like Alu probably would go scope it out, but she probably wouldn't engage in battle.
That's fine. You actually have...
Send like a little minion to tell everybody where she's going.
Yes, you absolutely can. You can send your sparrows to go check in on the rest of the party, and you're kind of gonna stay out tonight to keep watch on the dock wards and the Sea Maidens Fair. Is that your intent?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're gonna go and what you see are three ships. Three ships that people say those are the carnival ships of the Sea Maidens Fair. They're in town for a certain number of days, participating in bright swords, doing different events. Kind of that's what people talk about on the dock wards. So you're surveying. The carnival itself operates on the pier between the ships, which you can see. and it's running now. When you get there, it's up and going. Are you like? Do you want to go hang out at the carnival to kind of get an eye on the ships while you're perusing and stuff, or are you just trying to watch from a rooftop?
As long as she would mingle, she would do that. Like if she would basically be able to
Blending with
like,
the crowd.
yeah, blend. She would do it. If she's gonna stick out like a sore thumb, she wouldn't.
Yeah. So what you see is there are So you see there are 3 ships. They are called the Eye Catcher, which is this big, grand, ostentatious ship. You see one called Heartbreaker and one called Hellraiser. You spend a couple hours observing. You mingle with people. Give me an investigation check or perception check, whichever one you prefer. Actually, give me both. Let's make them 2 separate checks. Give me both. Okay. With that perception check, here's what you observe. You think that each captain has maybe 20-ish. Each crew of each ship is manned by about 20 people, and then they each have about 15 or 16 entertainers aboard them that aren't the sailors. So they have their full crew, and then they have carnies on top of that. You also, from where you are, you think that Heartbreaker and Hellraiser, they look like they're sister ships. They look almost like the layout. If you could figure out the layout for one of them, you'd probably have a very good idea what the layout for the other is. During the carnival, you notice that a local fishing yacht gets a little close to the Eye Catcher, and you see that the ship goes on full alert really fast. The sailors are out. They're monitoring. The Eye Catcher blares a signal to wave off the yacht. The yacht peels away. But you notice that if anything gets too close, the Eye Catcher seems... Maybe all 3 ships are ready to go. But it only appears to be the bigger ships. The rowboats that might be going between ships, like there are rowboats from Heartbreaker going to Eye Catcher. Those don't seem to cause any issues. That's kind of what you see on the from your observations. You spend some time, you see the carnival. It's got different shows. It seems nice. People are having a good time. They're celebrating. I would say you might remember that you, if while you're in the dock ward, you are also keeping an eye out for a serial killer that has been targeting elves. Davil Starsong asked you to keep an eye out. I guess with your investigation check, you haven't observed anything else. You've observed the ships. You're keeping an eye out. You don't see anything tonight that would hint regarding a suspect. You think you might have to come back and do some investigating to figure out what's going on with the elf killings.
Got it. Am I noticing that there are, like, the entertainers on the ship are primarily human or mixed?
Human.
Okay.
Mostly human. Luskan. They tend to be Luskan, which is a ethnicity of human.
Got it.
But yeah, that's what you see while observing the ships.
All right. So basically, I know that they're definitely got something to hide. What that something is, I don't know.
Yeah.
But something.
Are you gonna head back to the Trollskull alley after you patrol the dock ward looking for your serial killer for a bit? A late night?
Yeah, I definitely will. And I'll make sure that, my buddies are continuing to do all of my investigation in my absence.
Yeah, absolutely. They the sparrows mentioned. They say, Miss Alu, when you get a moment, what we found is that the murders you were asking about, um, they all have happened near the Mule Skull Tavern.
Got it.
And yeah, you head back, and we can call this one a day. Everyone's gonna take a long rest, and we'll regroup the next morning on Elliot the 18th.
Excellent.
All right.
We have one day to prepare for our grand opening, everyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it for today's session. And hopefully you guys are starting to put some puzzle pieces together, figure out where you want to go next, and we'll start fresh in the morning on Elliot the 18th.
Nope.
Excellent. Let's do it.
All right. Thanks for playing, guys, and thanks for watching, everyone.
We'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.